Hey girl, hey, and gentlemen, it's me again, Taylor Denise, also known as a pretty brown girl, Tay Bands, Tay Teasy, and thanks for joining me again. Today, we're going to do a brunch makeup look starting with this super moisturizing NYX Hydratouch primer. I do have kind of dry skin, so it is very important that I use hydrating products. And you'll see I just use my hands to just smooth it all over, making sure I'm getting every point of my face as well as avoiding those eyebrows that I worked really hard to draw on. And once that's all smoothed in, I go in with my NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop foundation in the color Deep Rich. And I will just dab it onto the areas of my face just so that I have control. I don't ever want to have too much or too little foundation. Then I will go in with my Mario Badescu Rosewater facial spray, and I'm actually going to spray my foundation brush before smoothing in that foundation just to again keep as much moisture as possible. And then I'll just dab it into my skin. And as you can see, this foundation has great coverage. It matches my skin tone really well. I was very impressed because it is quite inexpensive compared to other brands, but it's definitely a good contestant as well as far as coverage and matching skin tone. I definitely am a fan. And you will see that I will go into my hairline because it is extremely important to make sure all areas are covered as far as blending, just to be sure that your skin tone looks the same color all around. So those important extra areas are your neck, around your ear area, and most importantly, that hairline, ladies. I cannot stress enough how important it is to make sure that your hairline is blended. And as you'll see, I will go into many areas more than once just to be completely sure that it's all blended and smoothed in. Next, I'm going to go in with my NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop Concealer in the color Mahogany. And I'm just going to apply it under my eyes and in my T-zone area. I'm not going to worry about my chin because I like to wait, being that this concealer is a bit dry and I do already have dry skin, because I don't want it to leave like that shadowy color or anything on my chin area. I'll just get it when I go in with my setting powder. And I don't have a special technique for my concealer. I really just put as much or as little. And then I'm going to go in with my Mario Badescu again and actually spray my face as well as my brush because again, it is a bit dry and I do just want to make sure everything is as smooth as possible. Oh, that's your song, huh, sis? And same with my foundation. I'm just kind of going to dab it in and smooth it in. I do typically use a beauty blender for this step. However, it is dirty and I just did not have time to clean it, so I'm going to use the actual brush today. And you will see that I alternate sides that I am blending just because, again, I can't stress enough, that moisture and blending, all of that is key. So I like to alternate so that one side isn't getting more dry than the other. Blending my forehead area with the brush is definitely the hardest, but you will see me smooth it out a few times, do like the upward motion, and really try to blend it as much as possible because, again, no one wants to look kind of shadowy or ashy. You want to make sure everything is blended, everything is smooth. Then I'm going to go in with this Cover FX powder in medium and my Laura Mercier powder in medium deep, and mix those two together to do my setting. Again, I typically use my beauty blender to apply my setting powder, as using the brush is a bit messy, but since it is dirty, I just had to work with what I had. And I'm going to set up under my eyes, my T-zone area, a little on my chin, and a little right above my jawline. Next, I'm going to go in with my Fenty Beauty Contour Stick in Espresso. And just like with my concealer, the dramatization of my contour literally just depends on how much time I have, how I feel, maybe where I'm going. But I don't have a specific for it. The only thing I do in specific is when I am doing my forehead. I kind of just draw right across my forehead, like as if I was using a crayon or something. Then I'll go in with my contour brush and begin to dab that in. I do like a back and forth motion, a dabbing motion, just making sure it is blended in whichever way possible. And you'll see that I kind of dust off my setting powder by section, because again, I don't ever want like my chin area to have that ashiness to it, so I just try to make sure I am getting those high areas off sooner. And remember, try not to rush these techniques because blending blending and blending is key. And again, getting into that forehead, that hairline area, just making sure that it doesn't look like someone attached my face to my face. And just making sure all of those tones are nice and blended. I was really feeling this song. I was listening to my Ashanti playlist on Pandora, so you know the old throwback songs always get you in a good mood. Then I go in with my smaller contour brush to do my nose area as well as under my lip, just because the bigger brush is for, you know, bigger areas, so it covers more area, but I don't want the bigger brush to, you know, be pushing contour all over the place in those smaller areas, so I just go in with the tiny one. And then I'm just gonna go back over all of the areas just to double check. Then I go back in with my brush that I use specifically for blending and just hit all the key points of my face and trying to make sure everything is nice, smooth, and one tone. Then for my eyes, to prime them, I go in with my NYX concealer again. Being that I am a brown girl, sometimes it is hard for the pigments of the eyeshadows to come through, so I'm not going to rub it in or anything. I literally just apply my eyeshadow right over it. And ironically, the concealer isn't as dry on my eyes as it is under my lids, which is so weird. For my eyeshadow, I go with my Violet Voss palette in Creme Brûlée. And I'll start with the orangish color to do under my eyebrow and right above my crease. And as you see, I just dab it in. This part doesn't go into the concealer, it's just that, I guess, my transitioning area between my shadow and my brow. So does anyone else see that my forehead is literally not blended in? I'm not sure how I didn't catch it, but you guys are fake because you were just gonna watch this and probably talk about me, but nobody was gonna tell me that I talked all that stuff just for my forehead not to be blended. However, it's okay. I won't hold it against you. But this is literally why I choose to use the beauty blender and not the brush. But next I'm gonna go in with my darker brown. And with that color, I'm going to do my outer lid and my crease. How did I miss my forehead? It's got that little ashiness to it that I didn't want on my chin. Wow, I don't know how I missed that, to be honest. For my lid, I couldn't decide between the shimmery gold and the more softer gold. I believe I settled for the softer gold though. Pretty sure one of my pups passed gas, and if you are a dog owner or around dogs, you know that is a very deadly, deadly smell. Now, when applying my shadow, I do have a technique, but I always forget I have a technique until I get to the second eye, which is kind of counterproductive. When doing the second eye, you'll notice that I have more control because I start from the bottom and work my way up so that I'm only covering the areas that I want to cover. However, it doesn't really matter because the other lid, I just applied the shadow all over my lid. So essentially, I have to do the same to this side. It just looks better when I do it on this side because I had more control over how it was going to come out. And typically after my eyeshadow, I go in with my finishing powder, but I forgot it at home, so I actually skipped that step today. But before that, I do go in with my regular eyeshadow brush. There's no product on it at all. I just use it to blend in all those colors and making sure that it's not choppy and that they transition into each other well. Then I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I don't really have like really thick or really long eyelashes. However, the little bit I do, I do notice the difference with this mascara. It's definitely worth all of the hype that it has gotten. Then I attempt to take my Fenty Beauty highlighter in Starstruck and use it as a blush. However, it's not pink enough to try to use as a blush, but it is still a very pretty highlighter, so I do just go ahead and apply it. However, I go in with my Maybelline Nudes palette and I take the two pinks and mix them together to have a little rosy pink color, and I apply that as my blush. Then I go in with my Black Radiance True Complexion contour palette that is extremely empty, but it's in the colors medium to deep. And I just grab some of that gold highlighter. That highlighter is amazing. It's nice and pigmented. It covers well. It's definitely one of my favorite highlighters. And then I'll just cover all of the areas that I want to glow and to pop. My boyfriend was loudly playing video games, and clearly I was not here for it. But I was here for that Tarte Ready Set Radiant Setting Spray. It smells amazing. If you have not tried it, I definitely recommend I don't know, it just smells so good. I love putting it on my face. Then I put on my Duchess Silk Sephora Collection Natural Lashes, which look really nice. I am a fan of those as well. Gonna go ahead and just fan those. And we are done. So I'm gonna go ahead and unclip that hair and fluff it out a little. Maybe that's why I didn't notice that my forehead wasn't completely blended, because it was covered by my hair a little bit. I don't know. And I'm also going to touch up my lip gloss. That is my Fenty gloss there, which I love. But yes, this is the finished product, and here's a little dance break of me feeling myself. Pretty sure I'm listening to Say My Name by Destiny's Child, and I'm pretty sure this is the breakdown at the end. And give you guys a quick 360, even though this video was not about my hair in the least bit. But thank you, I appreciate you guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all later.